Howdy partners, this is Kiram with Clear Imaging, clearimaging.com. We design wicked websites, been doing it for 2 decades. I've been making websites since 2003, and we've helped tons of American companies with our fresh designs and awesome search optimizations. Today we're looking at a website that looks totally nice. Well, totally normal maybe, but it's got a bunch of things wrong. So let's take a look under the hood and see what's wrong with this normal looking website. So first things first, the title is incorrectly done. If you want to rank your website high in Google, you have to have the titles optimized very precisely. In this case, it's just the company name and the vertical pipe separator, and then it stops. So that's not how you do it. You need to put your main keyword, usually it's your service, in this case professional excavation and drainage, maybe residential excavation and drainage. That would need to go next, and then you would need to put your service area. So just put Tennessee in that sense, because they're serving a large portion of the state. Or if they're focusing on a city, throw in the city. But that has to get optimized. That's crucial. Another thing that's wrong with this normal looking website is it's very slow. Over on gtmetrix.com, which is free, do a speed test, and it's a whopping 14 seconds long in the load time. You want your website to be 3 seconds. The slower your site is, the more you'll be penalized by the Google, because as people wait for your website to load, some will be impatient and they'll just click the back button while your site is still loading, and Google takes note of that, and that's called a bounce. And that goes into a metric called your bounce rate, the percentage of people who just open your page and just leave on the first open, on not clicking into your website, but just loading your first page. So you will get penalized by that because Google thinks your website isn't good because people are leaving right away. So speed up your website. The reason it's slow is it's a WordPress website. And also on the Google page speed score super low because it's WordPress. WordPress sites score really low because they're really bulky. They've got lots of stuff. We won't get into the technicals, but they can be optimized. They can be sped up, but they are inherently slow dinosaurs. So those are a few issues right off the bat with this website. Moving on, let's do Control U to open up the source, Control F to search, type in H1. Doesn't even have a heading 1. Heading 1 is very important for your rank in the Google. Google looks at over 100 different factors in its algorithm of ranking. The heading 1 tag is one of those. Now you know what a heading is. This is a heading, right? This is probably a heading 2. If you do Control F, type in H2, really? Oh, no headings. Well, normally, if you were a normal web designer and you made this website, this would have been made into the heading 1. This would be a heading 2. This would be a heading 2. Heading 2. And then if you had little subheadings, little guys, which I don't really see, yeah, like these would be heading 3s. However, the way the site was coded was incorrect, coded incorrectly, and they're not able to take advantage of the headings. So that's another point where they're missing out, which you wouldn't normally realize. And I can't select the text either. Let's go back, type in transforming. Okay. I just wanted to make sure the text was actually text and not an image. Sometimes you can have a picture, right? When the text actually isn't selectable, it's like all a picture. But the good news is they actually have it as selectable text. So I'm glad they have that. Still, quite a few errors nonetheless in SEO world. And other points, the design is kind of nice for the first half of the website, although there are some issues. And then once you get through, it just gets worse and worse. This bottom section is really an eyesore. All these colors, red, black, and white, just screaming at you. It's hard to look at, and this call to action form is not done very smoothly. It's really there's a lot of competition for your attention. Your attention is going to go to the form fields. It's not going to go to anything that you actually want it to, because there's a competition for attention in this section. The text is really out of the way. The heading is hard to look at, so it's not going to result in a lot of conversions, in other words. So that's what poor design. Same thing with this. Like, this red is really getting a lot of attention, and so is this heading, but the actual testimonials are not getting the attention because of all these other elements. So the design is a little bit incorrect in that sense. Moving back up, there's a lot of sales page elements that need to be corrected. For instance, they don't have sections on let's just see, like, for instance, services we offer, this is buried in here. And the problem is people scan read. When people go section by section, they're just going to read the heading. So I won't get a sense for their services because all I'm looking at is the headings. And seeing these services is key, because that's going to help me segment myself as the prospect of what am I interested in. So you really want to have this stuff spelled out, like one section for each. So drainage would have a thing, land clearing, landscaping, erosion, trenching. So you would have a box, in other words, or a grid with each service spelled out very clearly. When you do it like this stuff doesn't get read. It'll only get read if the person is already really interested. So the presentation of the data could use some rethinking. Additionally, this element here, this graphic, although it's super cool, is completely taking away all of the attention from the importance of this list of services. So although it looks cool and it's 3D, it's like popping out of the page and it's like, wow, nice. Websites that look cool really isn't the point. You have to have websites that turn visitors into prospects and sales. So something like this is really just overwhelming the section. It's actually working against them, and the people and the prospects who are on this page are not going to get the full enlightenment because their attention is being drawn to all of this awesomeness going on. All of the video over here, this big element over here. So that's one point where, yeah, something looks really cool, looks really professional, but it's going to lower the effectiveness of the website, because the website is all about communication. And with all these happening elements, it's actually pulling attention off of the communication, which is in the text. So the images and the photos and all that stuff and the video should be there to support the text and the images, not to take attention away from it. So that is one really big issue with this website. So there are plenty of others. For instance, I don't see a section that shows how much work they've done in their tenure, how many years they've been in business. You know, a section like this. A section like this really goes a long way by putting some vital statistics, some hard numbers. So in this case, number of students who've come to paint, number of classes, number of venues. Over here at this construction company, they should be putting years in business, right? So instead of this, they need to put, like, this is fine, all well and good, but no one's going to read that. They need to make a section like this with 3 little columns and then put, 16 years in business, 50 residential projects completed, 200,000 tons of dirt excavated. Whatever it is to show that they've been doing real work, they've been doing good work for a while, that's going to build a lot of trust. It's going to build a lot of mostly trust with the prospect, because they're on this website, they don't know anything about them, they need some reassurance that these guys are the real deal and they've been around, because anybody can have a website, but if you actually put real numbers, it really helps to build that trust, because people do business with you if they trust you. So that's a section they could really use here on the homepage to help turn visitors into actually interested prospects. There's many other sections, but we can go on and on with that for quite a while. I don't want to make this too long, but as you can see, Seemingly Good website actually has a lot of issues. If you would like us to take a look at your website, we can do the same over here at Clear Imaging, because you never know. If you're not a pro, then you don't know what to look for. You don't know what the out points are. You don't know what it should look like. So that's why you should have a pro properly audit your website, because they know what's up. We know what's up. I've been making websites since 2003. I know exactly what to look for. So if you show us your sites, we can take a peek and compare it to our expert knowledge and find and dig up major errors like we did on this website. And that can result in less sales. So you are losing money by not doing it. So come on down to clearimaging.com. Let us know if there's anything we can do. If you have a website, go ahead, put it in the comments, and I will take a look. All right. Until then, thank you very much, and take care.